Hey stars, it's me, Shard Star, and I'm back. I have some stories I want to go over with you guys. I'm feeling really good today. First off, I'm actually drinking a mimosa. It's late in the evening, so I can be drinking a mimosa. It's not first thing in the morning. I just wanted something different than that regular tea thing, okay? All right. So we're gonna start this off with your president, President Donald Trump. Well, look. He's been in office now since a couple of months, right? And with all he has done so far in the matter of months, right? He's already talking about. Trump says he's considering ways to serve a third term as president. Um, After being back in office for what, almost 3 months now, um, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about that. I just want to let you guys know that this man is at the moment trying to figure out a way to serve another term. And presidents are only allowed to serve 2 terms. And he states that he's been asked by so many people, can he please find a loophole or a way to serve another term? And this is only, mind you, a couple of months in. So this is what he's telling us he's hearing. Where he's always hearing. I think he actually is hearing voices, actually, but it's not the voices he thinks he's hearing. You know what I mean? West Palm Beach, Florida, President Donald Trump said on Sunday that I'm not joking about trying to serve a third term. The clearest indication he is considering ways to breach a constitutional barrier against continuing to lead the country after his second term ends in the beginning of 2029. Now we are in 2025. We got a little less than 4 years to go, but he's already talking about he's looking for a way to extend it and to be able to serve another term. Just want to let you guys know. Okay. And other Trump news, um, with all the things that's going on in the world, right? The deportations, just everything that's going on. This man, Mr. Trump, Mr. Donald Trump, the president, is now about to sign an executive order to protect Americans from exploitive ticket scalping in the entertainment industry. So he wants to sign an executive order to protect Americans from us being exploited by high ticket prices to concerts and different types of venues and different events in the entertainment field and industry. Listen, with all this going on, I think this is the least of our worries is if we're going to be overpriced for the next Beyonce concert or the next whoever, whoever. There's so many other things to be dealing with. But again, when we like this and like this, we already said in the next 4 years, we're going to sit back and pay attention and watch. And this is one of these things. He's signing an executive order, people, to protect Americans. He's protecting Americans from us being exploited by high ticket prices, scalping in the entertainment industry. I don't even know what to say. It's diabolical with everything going on. This is what this man is concerned about. Again, money. Okay, so those of us, I know that now in New York that you have congestion pricing, and so I'm assuming that most people at this point have E-Zpass because it wasn't really needed before, but now if you drive in any of these cities, you need to pay tolls unnecessarily, might I add. Okay, so just want to let you know that E-Zpass app and site will be shut down for several days while systems are being upgraded. Again, E-Zpass, the app and the site will shut down for several days while system is being upgraded. So that means you won't be, if you have an issue, you won't be able to call or contact anyone. I don't even know what to say as far as they're saying that they're trying to revamp and consolidate websites about E-Zpass, and they're trying to make it easier, but to shut it completely down, meaning the app and the site, meaning that your customer is pretty much left out in the cold. And I will honestly say it's not a day that I'm not out driving on the highways and byways that I don't see issues with these. Either it's not picking up your license plate, or if you're using CAD, it's just weird. It's just weird. So I just letting you guys know. Actually, I think this will start on tomorrow, on Wednesday. Um, yeah, I think that this will start on Wednesday. And I don't know, like they said, it's going to be a few days. It said the Metropolitan Transportation Authority of Bridges and Tunnels, the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, and New York State Thruway Authority has announced the rollout of upgraded to the E-Zpass website and tolls, the New York mobile app. So they're just trying to update the applications, and they're trying to. I just think it's a horrible idea to shut down the site and the app. You know what I mean? Okay, so I'm going to give you the dates. It says the upgrades will, however, require a temporary system shutdown from 7 p.m. on Wednesday, April 9th. So it's not tomorrow, it's next Wednesday, April 9th, through midnight of April 14th. So for 5 days, you will not be able to access your account information, make payments, or contact customer service through existing phone lines or applications. So I don't know. I don't understand how you're going to have a system running constantly 24 hours a day, but for 5 consecutive days, you're not going to have anything usable or available for the customer through either your app or your site or customer number. So so if you come into trouble during April 9th, starting at 7 p.m., which is on a Wednesday, it's going to go all the way until Monday, April 14th. So if you have any problems, you got to document your things, really. You have to document when it happened, how it happened, what time time of the day, because when it goes back online and those issues start to show up in the new system, you're going to need to explain it. Okay? Again, making us do their job. Okay, I know that because of the egg prices and just grocery prices altogether, right? Everything is so ridiculous. Okay, so we know this. Now, apparently, because of the egg shortage, and they're saying that the chickens got really sick and different things, and they had to get rid of but so many chickens. Well, the truth of the matter is, a lot of people and a lot of places, such as like McDonald's, that they use liquid eggs, right? So they use, give me one second, people. I'm trying to get this thing up for you. They use liquid eggs. And a lot of people, because a carton of eggs has been as far as $7 to $8, other people are using liquid eggs, okay? So I just want to let you guys know, if you are out there in using these liquid eggs, that there is a recall. See, I think because we're having such an egg issue here, that the news should report this regardless, because now people are using different types of eggs and different liquid eggs, brown eggs, hell, black eggs, whatever it is. People are trying to get what they can get instead of paying $10 for a dozen of eggs, right? Well, some liquid egg products recalled as they may have bleach, USDA warns. Here's what to know. Again, liquid eggs. These are the liquid eggs. People are not buying dozens of eggs as much. They're buying liquid eggs now. And again, fast food places such as McDonald's and Burger King, those that serve breakfasts, they use liquid eggs. So, you need to be aware that if you're going to order something, I know that when I used to go to Dunkin' Donuts and order a sandwich and it had an egg, I was also told by my spouse to always ask for the real egg or something. I don't know what it was. It's like they use some type of other egg, but you have to ask them for a real egg. And I thought that was ridiculous. But again, what they are giving us to consume into our bodies, We never know. But again, I think that we need to know that some liquid egg products have been recalled. Now, I'm going to some egg beaters. Okay, that's what they're called. And Bob Evans. Now, I actually see Bob Evans in ShopRite and different things all the time. Bob Evans liquid egg products are under recall because they may include a cleaning solution with bleach. This is being reported from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Okay, the liquid egg substitutes were recalled by Cargill Kitchen Solutions in Michigan because they may contain a cleaning solution with sodium fluoride, which is commonly known as bleach. The recall covers 212,268 pounds of product. So that means that's a lot of product. 212,268 pounds of product, okay, which was produced on March 12th and March 13th. So if you have any liquid eggs in your refrigerator, please check the date at least. Make sure it's not Bob Evans. And even if it's not Bob Evans, that doesn't leave you clear. Make sure that it's not produced from March 12th or March 13th. But again, the only names that they're giving at the point is Bob Evans, and it's very popular here in New Jersey and in ShopRites, definitely. So I want you guys to know, please check your eggs. Okay, moving right along, right? So this story it states that Florida bus driver Pow Pow and unalives 2 passengers after an argument. 2 men passed away early Sunday after a pow pow on a mini Miami-Dade transit bus followed a verbal dispute with the driver. Okay, so now the drivers are just not. I mean, I've been seeing videos on YouTube and stuff where they're now putting this like plexiglass now in between people. I think that has something to do with COVID, but then also for some type of protection because I saw on one of my YouTube things that the person went over the guy went over the plastic or the covering to hit the driver in the head or in the face. Nevertheless, but this story comes from Miami-Dade. Okay. It says a shooting involved a bus driver and passengers on a Miami-Dade transit bus left 2 men unalived early on Sunday. Police were dispatched to the corner of Shopping Plaza at Northwest 7th Avenue and 183rd Street at 2:50 a.m. in Miami Gardens, a suburb north of Miami. Preliminary investigation reveals the operator from the bus got into a verbal dispute and fired several rounds in the bus. The operator from the bus got into a verbal dispute and fired several rounds in the bus, striking and killing, unaliving 2 passengers. Miami Garden Police states on Monday. The victims were airlifted to Aventura Hospital in critical condition and later pronounced unalived from their injuries. An argument began inside the parked bus, escalating to the bus driver drawing a gun and shooting the 2 passengers. Officials said the driver was detained and taken in for questioning. Witnesses state that the 2 passengers were somehow verbally attacking the driver. Okay, verbally attacking and straight up attacking is 2 different things. I can say what I want. If you want to cuss me out, you can do that too, but you're not putting your hands on me and you're not, harming me in any way. So all they're saying at this point was that it was a verbal altercation with 2 passengers, and this happened at 2:50 a.m. in Miami on a parked bus. So the driver apparently pow-powed them. And they passed away from their injuries. They said the motive remains under investigation. And they're saying it's an isolated incident. I don't know what to say. I don't even know if it's legal for the bus driver to have a firearm. But then again, we're talking about Florida, where Florida and Texas, a lot of people are allowed to carry more so than anyone else in other states, is what I'm going to say. Okay. Now, we're going to bring it down a little bit. I want to tell you about this little girl, this little angel, and we're going to talk about how early. I'm asking this question to my subscribers. How early did you start sending your kids to the dentist? And if you started to take them to the dentist early, did you or would you allow a dentist to put your child to sleep to do a dental procedure? That's what I want to know. Do you think, would you allow them to use anesthesia on your child? And if you did, what age did you allow that? This is a 9-year-old girl, okay? Beautiful little girl. I'm going to bring up her pictures. And this is what they're saying. New details emerged from a 9-year-old girl who was unalived after being placed under anesthesia for a dental procedure. Okay, Sylvania Moreno's cause of death is pending, but is under police investigation, according to the San Diego County Medical Examiner's Office. Okay, so this is the young lady, little girl, 9 years old, and this is the place. It's called the Dreamtime Dentistry. So yeah, I'm going to get into this right now. I wanted you to be able to see the young lady. Now I'm going to tell you, a 9-year-old girl passes away after going under anesthesia in a San Diego's dentist's office. A 9-year-old girl passed away hours after she went under anesthesia for a dental procedure at a San Diego office where a dentist had been investigated after a patient nearly passed away in his office not long ago. So apparently this dentist is under investigation for something that happened with another patient where the patient almost passed away. They didn't say why. They didn't say anything. They said the procedure took place on March 18th at Dreamtime Dentistry in Vista. In a statement, Dr. Ryan Watkins said the child was continuously monitored by our dentist anesthesiologist and showed no signs of complications. Okay, this is what the dentist, Dr. Ryan Watkins, is saying. Okay, now keep listening. The statement said the child was discharged in stable condition, adding that she was awake and had stable vital signs when she was released into her mother's care. Okay? This is what the doctor's saying. Again, please listen, because this is important. This doctor is lying already. So we already know that there's going to be some issues and some problems, that he didn't do something right. The doctor states the child was discharged in stable condition, adding she was awake and had stable vital signs when she was released into her mother's care. Now, this is the statement from the medical examiner. The medical examiner's summary report, however, says the child was taken to a recovery room after the procedure, but was asleep when she was discharged. Okay? Based on preliminary information, the descendant underwent dental surgery under anesthesia in Vista and transitioned to a recovery room afterwards. She was later discharged from the facility and remained asleep during her transport home. The report states, upon arrival, she stayed asleep and was transitioned into her bed at home. Family members checked on her throughout the day. After they found her unresponsive in bed, they called 911, according to the report. The girl was taken to the hospital where she was pronounced unalive. The cause and manner of death is pending. Okay, but the fact that the doctor is stating in his report that she was awoke, responsive, her vital signs were great. Pretty much she got up and walked out of there with her mother. Where now the examiner's report and other reports are stating she was never awoke after the surgery. She was put into a recovery room where she slept. When she was discharged, she was asleep. When she arrived home, she was still asleep, and they checked on her and then found her unresponsive. So, again, this is a problem. This is a problem. I think it's a problem. With him lying already, it doesn't look good. So again, we're gonna send our prayers up for Sylvania Morenos. Again, she was 9 years old and she passed away after being put under anesthesia for a dental procedure. Okay. Okay. So yeah, some of these stories, guys, it can really take you there. And to find sometimes for me to find you again, I know my niche for me is to tell you stories that you don't normally hear and that everyone else isn't talking about or running. That's what I feel is going to makes me different. And I get tired of, be on Instagram and Facebook and you keep hearing the same thing. It's so repetitive. It's over and over. I at least want to bring you something new, something you can investigate, something that you haven't heard. Um, um, I don't know. It gets very hard sometimes when it comes to these stories because it's some of the things, some stories I don't even run to you guys. They're too much for me to dig deep into. I don't even want to bring it to you. You would be amazed. I throw away 4, 5, 6 stories a week where I'm just like, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do it. Okay, so we're at another story. Now, I remember telling you guys some weeks ago, maybe last month, early last month, about, okay, first there was some kids that fought on the bus and stuff like that. And then there was another story where um, the other girl, I forgot exactly, there's so much going on. Like these teenagers, I think they were 16 or 17, they got into another altercation and one pow the other. Well, guess what? Now it's our 13 and 14-year olds. Again, what do I say to you guys? And when I said it to you yesterday and I said it to you last month, the new generation does not know how to deal with conflict resolution. Conflict resolution. When things happen out of the norm, when conflict shows its head, these young people don't know how to maneuver themselves or to even sit themselves down to think about what's about to happen. Is it worth fighting? Because when we were growing up, those of us of a certain age, we had fights, but we didn't fight for everything. So as we got older, we learned to verbally talk it out. Sometimes things can be talked out. Everything does not have to be who's the biggest, who's the baddest, who's the strongest. It's not always about that. But we're going to go into this. This is what one teenager told another. These are 13 and 14-year-old girls. I'm going to kill you today. 14-year-old girl murdered by teen classmate at playground after verbal altercation on a school bus. Now, we're hearing a lot about these altercations on the school buses. Now, this is the little girl this is the young lady, 13, 14. This is who we're talking about. Um, yeah. Um, let's get into this a little bit because it seems to be getting worse. Because before, I think it was 17, and it was 17-year-olds, and I said that when I think of kids on school buses, I forget all about 16, 17-year-olds on school buses because at that time you're graduating. So I was always thinking younger, but now it's getting younger. These are 13 and 14-year-olds. So what happened was two teenagers, very young teenagers, got into an altercation on a school bus. A 14-year-old girl in Texas was allegedly gunned down by a classmate of hers, with cops saying okay, I forgot about this story. It's a boy that's 14 that also shot the girl that was 14. So it was a boy and a girl, not two girls, a boy and a girl. And 14-year-old girl was allegedly gunned down by a classmate of hers, with cops saying he shot the teen 2 times in the back as she tried to run away from him, and 2 more times after she fell onto the ground following a verbal dispute on their school bus that day. They say he went home, put on all black, put on a black mask, and came back, called her name in the playground, and began to shoot her. Anaya Zachary, that was her name. Yeah, this happened last week on March 21st. I'm sorry, it happened on March 21st in the city of Baytown, which is 25 miles east of Houston. So again, this is Texas. So a boy and a girl, 13 and 14, got into a dispute on the school bus. The little boy gets off the school bus, goes home, changes his clothes into all black, put on a black mask, grab a firearm, allegedly, go to the school, the playground, wherever the kids are playing, calls the girl's name, and as she turns around, he starts to fire. He shoots her twice in the back, and then after she fell, he came and stood over her and shot her 2 more times. This is crazy for even 13 or 14-year-olds to even be thinking about. And for him to actually have an altercation with her, get off your bus, go in your house, change your clothes to all black. What's that about? So I'm thinking it's very premeditated, you know, and I think he should be charged as an adult. So this is definitely premeditated because he had time to get off the bus, go in the house, change his clothes to all black, put on a black mask, and get the firearm allegedly. Go back to wherever the girl is at this point, and they said at a playground. They said the playground is in Baytown, Texas. Went to the playground where she was and shot her 4 times, twice in the back and twice standing over. This I don't. Where do you get that from? It's these games, and why would you go and put on all black? Like, what are you doing? Like, this is like really thought out. Because I think that if it's going to be an issue or a problem, and if it was that serious, you wouldn't have bothered to change your clothes. You did what you had to do. But the fact that you change your clothes to all black, put on a black mask, I don't know. It's TV, movies, I don't know. And I guess maybe the parents not paying so much attention. Okay, so moving on from that. Well, we're always talking about the planes and how there's been so many mishaps actually since the new president took office. But again, I digress. There's been a lot going on for the new year. Since the new year, we've had so many crashes and incidents involving planes. And we know that the president was planning on, well, he was laying off FAA employees and things. Well, on top of that, y'all ready for this? I want to know if y'all really ready for this. FAA workers on leave after alleged assault in air traffic controller tower at Reagan National Airport. Now, mind you, this is the same airport where the helicopter and the plane collided and crashed, and they've been having a lot of mishaps and things that's like really close calls, as they're saying, as what they're calling it. Well, 2 FAA workers, traffic control and traffic control tower at work in that tower fighting. So while the planes are coming and going and landing, because there's something going on at the airport at all times. You know what I mean? At all times. And they're up there fighting. So not only are they getting laid off, so the team is getting smaller and smaller that's going to look after and control the planes that's in the air, coming and going, landing and departures, all of that. Now they're fighting. Okay? So let's get into this a little bit. I thought it was interesting. The FAA also confirmed the incident to Fox News. The employee is on administrative leave while we investigate the matter, an FAA spokesperson stated. It's unclear what sparked the scuffle. They're saying it was a scuffle, but it seems to be a full-fledged fight. And who was controlling the planes while this was going on? The incident is one of many newsworthy stories involving air traffic control. It's like, okay, so it's not that many of you guys working. Planes are falling out the sky. They're just, any name it, it's happening. And you guys are up in the air traffic control tower fighting over what? Maybe it needs to be completely revamped. Maybe that's what it is. I'm not quite sure. But this happened, this is happening. And that, remember, at the same airport on January 29th, there was the American airline plane and the Army helicopter that collided, killing 67 people. So we don't have time for y'all to be up there fighting and carrying on. Like, seriously, people are already scared to fly, really. Normally by now, we would have vacations in the hole and ready to nothing. We're not flying anywhere at this point. If we can't drive to it right now, we're not going. Actually, some friends of ours just brought up a quick trip within the next month or so. And I don't know. I don't think I'm ready. I'm not. People can do whatever they want, but I'm not. Okay, so now I remember just telling you guys, and I received quite a few response and comments, either through phone calls and texts, and sometimes through the email, and sometimes through the comments on the story itself about these portable carbon monoxide detectors. And I said, this is, look how, I'm trying to get it so you can see it in here. Look how small this is. Well, this is the one I take on vacation. And like I said, when I go to vacation, I just go in, I press this button, it lights up, I sit it on the dresser, and I let it do what it does. And there's a reason for that, because there's been so many deaths in the past few years over something this simple, okay? I'm going to tell you a story. I don't know how many of you guys, and this is my last story for the day, but I don't know how many of you guys are aware of the former Yankee star, Brett Gardner. Well, he lost his 14-year-old son of an unexpected illness on vacation a couple of weeks ago, right? Okay. Well, they said we have so many questions, and people, they didn't understand why the son and a couple of other family members began to feel ill after being in this state, rented this magnificent, this was a mansion. They said a resort, but from what I saw, this wasn't a resort. This was like a big, huge private home. And yeah, they rented the house. They had family over, and a few family members started to feel ill. And nobody could really explain it because it wasn't happening to everybody. Well, this is Brett Gardner. He's a retired Yankee legend. Well, his son, Miller Gardner, 14-year-old son, he's 14 years old. They're saying that they're investigating his death as a possible carbon monoxide poisoning thing. Like I stated to you before, these things are important. I don't care if the house is a mansion, or I don't care if the resort is 5-star or 6-star or diamond. I don't care. And different countries have different rules. They don't have to live up to the standards that we have to, and vice versa. Well, when it comes to carbon monoxide and things like that, I find that other countries such as Mexico and different things, allegedly, their rules are a little lean when it comes to that. What will I say? I state that the son began to feel ill along with other family members. It wasn't just him, but it wasn't the whole group that was there. You know what I mean? And come on, guys. Okay. And again, something that can cost you off of Amazon for $20 to $25. This thing is the size of a cell phone. I'm serious. The cell phone is bigger. It's thicker than a cell phone. But I'm just trying to. No excuses, people. I don't want to pack one more thing. I don't. This thing right here. You can get it from $20 to $25 on Amazon. It's portable. This can save your entire life, your family's life. $25. Okay. Now, what's happening is I'm glad to know that I have put people onto it, but being put onto it and thanking me about it and ordering it and buying it and taking it with you and using it the way I suggest, that's a different thing. Do it, people. It's worth it. $20, $25. And I mean, sure, they'll have someone there for 15. I don't want that one. I want something I can depend on that's going to give me the right readings and save me and my family's life. Okay. Former New York Yankee star Brett Gardner's teenage son passed away unexpectedly after falling ill on vacation, the family stated on Sunday. Brett Gardner, 41, and his wife Jessica Gardner announced the teen's death via the Yankees social media page. Okay. Miller Gardner, 14, became ill alongside several other relatives on the trip, the family stated. Okay. So again, he wasn't the only one. So that was the strange thing. I guess people was like, well, if it was something in the house, then we all would feel it. They said we have so many questions and so few answers at this point, but we do know that he passed away peacefully in his sleep on the morning of Friday, March 21st. Now, again, but they're stating now that they're pointing and they're believing that this is carbon monoxide poisoning because they're stating that the room that he stayed in was next to a utility room. And the utility room, they call it the machinery room, which runs everything from the air conditioning to the boiler to whatever it is this house has. This is the mechanical room. Well, apparently, the 14-year-old son, his room was right next to the machinery room, is what they call it. Utility machinery room, whatever you want to call it. But it's all the mechanical things that makes the house. And they feel that being that close to that room, that the fumes were being kicked off from the machinery that the house was using. And I saw pictures of the house. I don't have it for you now, but it was a really nice, it looks like a mansion on a cliff and it looked beautiful. But again, I tell you, I don't care. My family and friends, we went on a little ski trip a few weeks ago and we rented a beautiful home, the home that me and my husband did our video from. And, you know, we did the tour. That home, beautiful. But baby, where was she? Where was she? Right on my nightstand. And that wasn't even out of the country. That was Pennsylvania. But baby, where was she? Right next to me. Because I don't care how expensive the house is and how well maintained the grounds look. It takes one old battery or no batteries at all, because you believe that some of these detectors, you walk around and you see them, and sometimes they have lights on, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they have a battery in it, sometimes they don't. Who knows if it's even working? So I tell you guys, and I'm asking and praying you guys, please don't depend on other people for you and your family's safety. Get these portable carbon monoxide. As you see, Mr. Brett Gardner has all the money in the world. He's a legendary baseball player for the Yankees in New York. And I'm sure he could have brought 1 trillion of these, but just one would have saved him, his family, and definitely would have saved his son's life from what's going on now. Listen, I love you guys. I want you guys to be intentional. I just felt like I told you, you're going to see more and more of me. I'm here. The weather's about to break. Summer's about to come. And I love you guys. I want you guys to be intentional. Please, please, please. Vacation time is starting. Please, I'm begging you. Please get you a portable carbon monoxide detector. Portable. I want to start it so you can hear it because she don't blink. She loud. You'll be able to hear this on the 3rd floor of my house if I hit this button. I want you guys to know And to know better is to do better. I love you guys. And until next time, be safe, be intentional, and look after others. And check on your family. Love you guys.